In my house, the one time that is sacred is dinner time. 4 courses, salads, the main course, desserts, and coffee. I told my mama that coffee is not a course. But she insisted that if it stands alone, it is a course. Period. I finally stopped pointing it out, except when I wanted to see her do her favorite hand on hip. Eyes rolled, weight shift to one side. Get out of my kitchen! When you are an adult, you will learn to appreciate the coffee course. She wasn't really mad, but she pretended really well. She would play her part, I would play mine. So did everyone else. As a senior in high school, with 4 AP classes, being in speech and debate, orchestra, cross country, and National Honor Society, it's hard to find time for myself, let alone with my family. According to the goodnet.org, 59% of Americans reported that they spend less time at family dinners now than they did when they were growing up. It's time that we stopped and acknowledged how much time we spend with our own families. Through the poems Family Time, Tradition and Priorities by Lee Sharon, woven with All in the Timing by Jason Sheets, I'll inform you how family time has changed and its effects. 6:55, snooze alarm, 7, wake up, 7:05, shower, 7:16, dress, 7:30, breakfast, 7:50, leave for work, 7:59, arrive at work. There, got it. Wait. What if I have to go to the bathroom? 6:50, snooze alarm, 6:55, wake up. When I was younger, we would have family time. Did you have this growing up? Well, family time means that you would stop what you're doing, sit down, and bond with your family. 9, check email, 9:15, check voicemail, 9:25, return calls, 9:45, start workday. We sat around the dinner table, hands connected, waiting for Dad to stop prior. He would sit down last, clear his throat, and begin the exact same way every night. When I'm a parent, I'm gonna play catch with my kid every evening. I'm gonna buy my wife roses every Friday, and I'm gonna build my kids a treehouse, and when will I have time for all of this? Well, I'm not worried. I'll make time. 5, return home. 5:01, see list of jobs for you. 5:05, start jobs. Can't you see, Daddy's busy right now. Go play with one of the other kids. Can't you see, Daddy's busy. Daddy's tired. He works very hard. Can't you see, Daddy's busy. Dear Dad, I'm sorry. I never made it back in time to see you. Mom didn't tell me that it was serious this time. If I had known, I would have made the time, Dad. I would have. Dad died. Cancer. He knew, but he didn't want any of us to worry about him. It takes the ones we love to make us stop. Just stop. I look at myself and I realize that I am the worst, attached to my phone, to apps, to emails, and none of them represent family. Listening to myself as I share these words, I realize the things that should be my loves, my things I can't live without, my first thoughts were on my things. Things didn't pick me up from the hospital after I ran a red light and hit another car. That was my mom. Things didn't sit with me after the worst breakup of my life. That was my sister. Things didn't hold me as I cried after bully number 1, 2, 3, or 4 chased me home after school and told me what a piece of trash I was. Now that was my father. And he was not a thing. Things never loved me, never held me, never consoled me. Things don't have that power. 10:28, collapse in bed. 10:32, fall asleep. 2 a.m. Realize you forgot to tell your wife you love her. So where did all the time go? It's flitting away, and we'd realize it if we'd taken the time. Minority. Can one of you kids define the word minority? It means little kids. I think it means, young people. It means small groups. Dear white America, I am equal parts sick of your go back to Africa's as I am your I just don't see racist. I'm not black. I mean, that's what the world calls me, but that's not me. No, you were taught to call me that, along with whatever you call yourself. It's just a label. In 1976, my mother moved from Mexico to Texas in order to have a better life. She remembers people saying things like, go back to Mexico, and calling her wetback. At the age of 9, racial discrimination still exists. According to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, at the end of 2015, 59% of all hate crimes were racially motivated. It's time that we stopped stereotyping, stopped discriminating, and instead looked at people for who they really are, as humans. From the poems Last Visit to Chestnut Middle School by Jaime Flores, woven with Dear White America by Denez Smith, What Kind of Asian Are You? And I Never Wanted to Write This Poem by Alex Dang, Some Mexicans Are Taking Jobs from Americans by Jimmy Baca, and the song I Am Not Black, You Are Not White by Prince E. So she said to me, what kind of Asian are you? That is a loaded question. What kind of Asian do you expect me to be? Because no matter how you slice that egg roll, I'm still pretty much whatever you want to see. So, Mexicans are taking jobs from Americans? Oh yeah? Do they come on horses with rifles? Do they mug you a knife at your throat and say, Ese gringo, give me your job. Even on TV, we have a leader that says they're taking our jobs away. See, from birth, the world force feeds us these labels. And eventually, we all swallow them. We digest and accept the labels, but there's one problem. Labels are not you. Labels are not me. Who we really are is not skin deep. I have played many a Far East stereotype, from awkward math genius to calculated calcu expert to Dr. Jones, you crazy! Oh, you want me to drive? Oh, how so? I can give you Tokyo Drift and Mario Kart. I am the foremost expert in all things age. Listen, I'm not here to lecture. I just have one question for you. If the world never gave you a label, what would you call yourself? Would you be white, black, Indian? What's the difference between Asian stereotype 1 and 2? Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you anything you want to know about my culture. Let me tell you an Mulan-esque soliloquy of me staring into the mirror asking, who is that girl I see? Let me tell you about being marginalized. Let me tell you about derogatory terms such as chink. Let me tell you other things that you don't want to know. I am 17. And he brandishes a knife. And he tells me to empty my wallet and I won't get hurt. I don't tell my mom I am 18 when he shows me a gun, and so I empty my pockets. I don't tell my dad I am 19 when I am jumped by 5 college boys. I was forced to run. Forced to learn, forced to fight, and I will not stand your ground. I am sick of calling this recklessness the law. You took one look at the river plump with body of boy after sweet boy, and you asked yourself, why is it always about race? Because you made it that way. Every time you lump a culture, every time you confuse me with some other nationality, is stripping away my individuality. And I still feel the shame of being Asian, Mexican, Native American, Middle Eastern minority. These labels will forever blind us from seeing a person for who they really are. When you let a label define you, then you have confined and divided yourself from others. And when there is division, there is conflict. And conflict starts war. Therefore, every war has started because of labels. So the answer to every war, racism, sexism, every other ism, it's the labels. We must rip them off. Only until you remove them all will we be free to see ourselves and each other for who we really are. Stereotypes. Can one of you define the word stereotypes?